I'm J.D. Cunegan, author of Natna and the Jill Anderson series, and today I'll be reviewing Chuck Wendig's seminal, a bit too close to real life for my liking classic, Wanderers. I hope this doesn't mean Chuck's a soothsayer. In truth, there's no real way to categorize this book, except to say it's a little bit of everything. No, seriously, this is part science fiction thriller, part dystopian epic, part contagion film, part commentary on modern political shenanigans, part romance, part tripping on acid coming of age thing. Wanderers is all of these things and more. Chuck Wendig clearly takes a throw everything including the kitchen sink approach to this book, and it works. It shouldn't work, but it does. Before I go any further, a disclaimer. This book will probably prove uncomfortable for some, given current events. Published in July of 2019, Wanderers proves oddly prescient on a number of fronts, not the least of which is the pandemic raging throughout the world, America in particular. So, if you're looking for something to get you away from the day-to-day slog that is 2020, this probably is not the book for you. Now, that said, Wanderers is easily the best book I've read in quite some time. Don't let the size of the book fool you. The pages fly by, largely because Wendig has a way with the written word I've not encountered in many other writers. And partly because even when he's slowing down to explain things to us, we're still being hurtled along this amusement park ride with the out of order sign hanging by a nail. There are plenty of moments where this book is uncomfortable to read on its own merit, even without taking current events into account. I found chapter 50 in particular to be potentially triggering for some. So I don't feel like I'd be doing a thorough enough review if I didn't mention that. Sometimes the discomfort comes from realizing just how plausible the world Wanderers builds. And how, I know I used this word before, but prescient. But that discomfort is part of the experience. And without it, I don't think this book would be the grand opus that it is. Wanderers may very well be Chuck Wendig's defining work. But aside from that, it is an all-encompassing, everywhere at once, engrossing read. It's the sort of book that needs to be on everyone's shelf, regardless of your tastes or your genre preference. I will admit a fondness for Chuck Wendig's work in general. He's, quite frankly, become one of those authors whose work I will buy and read regardless of what it is he writes. But Wanderers is his defining work, his magnum opus, and likely the book that will define him for decades to come. I hesitate to use the phrase modern-day classic, but that's exactly what Wanderers is. Like what you saw today? Click the like button and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified whenever there's a new video. And be sure to visit jdcuneganbooks.com to check out my work and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links are down below in the video description. Be safe and be good to each other.